All right, shalom, shalom, shalom. I would love to start by giving all honor, glory, and infinite praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. I want to give double honors to our apostles and elders of the great millstone that taught us this truth. Peace and blessed salutations to the sincere Akim, living in this truth, preaching and teaching, believing on the name Yahweh Shemel Shai. And peace and blessed salutations to million children that believe on the name Yahweh Shemel Shai. I'm going to jump right into a quick lesson through the Spirit, and Lord willing to be edifying. I've watched this video a couple times, and I just felt the need to touch on a few things real quick through the Spirit. And I'm going to let this video run and get a couple of precepts and I'll close, but Lord willing to be edifying.
For better,
For better,
for worse,
for worse,
for richer,
for richer,
for poor.
for poorer.
And they laugh at the for rich or for poor. You know what I'm saying? Which give you into at the moment he ain't able to provide a certain lifestyle or do the things that she feels he's supposed to be doing as a man, or giving her the lifestyle that she feels she deserves, then she won't be there. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if the Lord decide to bring him low, then she won't be around. The Lord decide to bring him to his knees, she won't be there. I'm gonna let it keep running.
Yeah.
And real deal, putting them to an open shame. Like, they making mockery of this shit. You hear the people in the background laughing at this shit. You know what I'm saying? But ain't nobody in there dwelling with no wisdom to be able to see, well, she ain't for you, bro. Couldn't be my brother. But it just show you, because even this nigga in the wrong spirit. And he's sitting there laughing at the shit his damn self, when ain't shit funny about it. Especially if this the woman you supposed to be starting a life with, or be trying to have kids with, or start a family with. Hell no. I'd have ran from up there. Okay.
We hit that snag about 20 times in counseling. Bria made it very clear to Jonathan, you cannot be broke. In sickness.
In sickness
And in health.
and in health.
To love.
To love.
Cherish.
Cherish.
And to obey.
We didn't talk about that one in counseling.
We did talk about that in counseling. Yes, we did. So you want me to repeat that again? You want to just keep going?
I think we can keep going.
All right.
And then, as you see, now, it's just all wickedness. And you see this shit, and to obey, she pause, she look at him, she laughing, he laughing, and then you got this wicked ass, whatever the fuck he is, pastor, priest, whatever the fuck you want to call him. Then he asks her, he gives her the motherfucking option. You don't ask the man, you don't address the man. He addresses the woman and asks her, do you want me to repeat that back to you, or you want me to keep going? And she say, keep going. You're crazy as hell. I'd have walked my ass from out there up with her right when she paused. I'd have re-asked the question to her. You gonna obey or not? You gonna listen to what I say or not? It's my way or the highway. It ain't your way. Just like we the wise of y'all, you know what I'm saying? We the wise of y'all about Shem Yahweh Shai. We married into the Most High. That's our husband. We do everything that the Most High, to the best of our ability, everything that he say. Same thing they do, the same thing a woman do for the man, we have to do for Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. And they sitting up there laughing at the shit, and he gonna ask her, this wicked ass nigga gonna ask her do you want me to repeat it, or you want to skip over that? Hell no, that ain't shit you skip over. Let's get into the precepts, man. This is 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 1. It says, even as Sarah obeyed Abraham, calling him Slakia. Phew. It's 1 Peter 3 and 1. It says, likewise, ye wives, be in subjection unto your own husbands, that if any obey not the word, if any obey not the word, they also, it says, if any obey not the word, they also may without the word be won by the conversation of the wise, so they might learn. So even if they don't want to obey, by being around women with chaste behavior, women that reverence their husbands and obey their husbands the way that they should, then she can be won over by the conversation of those women. It says, while they behold your chest conversation coupled with fear. It says, now watch this. It says, whose adorning, let it not be the outward adorning of plaiting the hair and of wearing of gold or of putting on apparel. So it ain't about the jewelry he can buy you or the clothes he can buy you. So like he said, because he said what? She laughed at for rich or for poor. Let him know the moment he can't provide this fancy ass lifestyle or the lifestyle she feels she deserves, she won't be there. It says, whose adorning, let it not be that outward adorning of plaiting the hair and of wearing a gold or putting on of apparel. It says, but let it be the hidden man of the heart, in that which is not corruptible, even the ornament of a meek and quiet spirit, which is in the sight of the Most High of a great price. So they're supposed to be of a meek and a quiet spirit. You're supposed to be locked into what I'm saying regardless. Being of a meek and quiet spirit. Accepting, being meek is accepting whatever I put on you, whatever come with it, and quiet while you're going through it. It says, which is in the sight of the Most High of great price. It says, for after this manner in the old time, the holy women also trusted in the Most High, which show they have no real reverence for the Most High, and they don't trust the Most High because of the way they live and the way they do things. It says, even after this manner, the old time, the holy women also trusted in the Most High, adorn themselves, being in subjection to their own husbands. Adorn themselves, being in subjection to their own husbands. Let's go into this word in subjection. It says to arrange, to under, to subordinate, to subject, put under subjection, to subject oneself, obey, to submit to one's control. So it lets you know these women are supposed to obey and they're supposed to submit to your will. Especially us men in this faith. The ones that truly serving Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. That's how a woman is supposed to be. It's not supposed to be anything contrary to that. It says to yield to one's admonishing or advice, to obey, to be subject. It said, verse 6, it says, even as Sarah obeyed Abraham, calling him Lord, whose daughters ye are, as long as ye do well and are not afraid with any amazement. So ye are the daughters of Sarah when you do these things. If you're not doing these things, it's contrary. You're not the daughters of Sarah. These ain't the women we should be after or want to be tied to or start shit with. Because they ain't in order. And they don't feel y'all about Shem outside. But in Isaiah 4:1 kickoff gonna be the same women running, really trying to find the men of the Lord, trying to find those men that you laughed at, trying to find the men that you refused to obey, trying to find the men that had the true way and were trying to show you the right way. And now the Heavenly Father can put a spirit on that man to reject your ass. Because you ain't the daughters of Sarah. But Lord, wouldn't we be those men? But that shit piss you off. You sitting there, he's sitting there laughing with her ass. That shit all wickedness. It just show you the spirit of a lot of these women in. They don't respect you. They not gonna obey you. They not gonna listen to you. They not gonna be holding in subjection to what the hell you got to say. It's either one end out the other, or nigga, I don't want to hear that shit. Treating you as if you the woman. This 1 Peter 3:1 again from the top, and I'll read down to the I'll read down to verse 6 again in the NLT. It says, in the same way, you wives must accept the authority of your husband. They gotta accept the authority, your authority, being the authority of the husband. It says, then even if some refuse to obey the good news, your godly lives will speak to them without any words. They will be won over by observing your pure and reverent lives. It says, don't be concerned about the outward beauty of fancy hairstyles, expensive jewelry, or beautiful clothes. So she really supposed to want to rock with you for rich or poor. The Lord, matter of fact, we're going to keep going. I'll get to it. It says, you should clothe yourselves instead with the beauty that comes from within, the unfading beauty of a gentle and quiet spirit, which is so precious to the Most High. It says, clothing yourselves, clothing yourselves with the beauty that comes from within, the unfading beauty of a gentle and quiet spirit. That beauty never fades from a woman when she comes in a spirit of meekness and a gentle and quiet spirit. Literally, shut the fuck up and let the man lead. It says, Verse 4, it says, you should clothe yourselves instead with the beauty that comes from within, the unfading beauty of a gentle and quiet spirit, which is so precious to the Most High. It says, this is how the holy women of old made themselves beautiful. This is how the women before you made themselves beautiful. But these bitches in this modern day time done walked so far down into Egypt and got that westernized mindset that they so disenchanted and disconnected from the old way, the ways of our forefathers and our foremothers. That's why they ain't in subjection. They ain't trying to hear nothing you got to say. Because in this world, in this present time, they can lead. They can make the money. I'm the man. I'm a bad bitch. I can take care of myself. I don't need a man. So they ain't rocking with you. Or if you ain't got a certain something, then she looking for the next best thing. She looking for the next best thing. It says, this is how the holy women of old made themselves beautiful. They trusted the Most High and accepted the authority of their husbands. Verse 6, it says, for instance, gives you an example. Now it's giving us an example. It says, for instance, it says, Sarah obeyed her husband Abraham and called him her master. You are her daughters when you do what is right without fear what your husbands might do. So you're the daughters of Sarah when you're doing the things that are right. And anything else that's contrary to it, then you're not the daughters of Sarah. You just another wicked bitch. And that's what you saw in that picture. You saw a bunch of wickedness, and even the nigga was wicked. I mean, she laughed in his face, and he laughed with her. And then you got the nigga, you got this wicked ass priest or whatever the fuck he is, reframing the question, asking her, do you want me to bring that question back, or you want to skip over? And they skip over, and everybody laughing. Hell no. Get into this. Get these last couple precepts, and I'm gonna close. This is Sirach chapter 25. I'll start at 19. It says, all wickedness is but little to the wickedness of a woman. Let the portion of a sinner fall upon her. When you jump down, it says what? It says, verse 23. It says, a wicked woman abateth the courage, maketh a heavy countenance and a wounded heart. And that's what's going to happen to his ass. He gonna be walking around sad, mad, groaning, wish he'd have never married the bitch. She said, a woman abateth the courage, maketh a heavy countenance. Sitting there wondering why the hell he did it when all the telltale signs are there. Hell, she laughing at the agreement y'all motherfuckers making. Letting you know she's not gonna walk according to your mind. She's not gonna be in subjection to you. The Lord decided to bring you low. The Lord decided to bring you low and take everything from you, the little wealth or riches, whatever you may have, because you don't know, but whatever he may have, or the reason she married him, the Lord is really, you know, if she ain't got no money, she ain't gonna be there in his hell. So the Lord decided to attack his hell, his flesh, and she ain't gonna be there. She gonna desert his ass. It says, a wicked woman abateth the courage, maketh a heavy countenance, and a wounded heart. A woman that will not comfort her husband in the strength, maketh weak hands and feeble knees. So the Lord decided to bring him low tomorrow. She won't be there because she ain't gonna comfort him. Hell, look at what Job's wife did when Satan attacked him. Look at what Job's wife did. Asked him, why don't you curse the Most High and die? That is not the type of woman you want around you, or the type of woman you should want to be joining to. These bitches ain't the daughters of Sarah. It says, verse 24, it says, of the woman came the beginning of sin, and through her we all die. Verse 26, it says, she go not as thou wouldest have her, cut her off from thy flesh, and give her a bill of divorce, and let her go. The moment you realize she ain't willing to go the way that you have her go, and she ain't willing to follow subjection to you and obey you, you let that bitch go. You don't deal with her. You keep it pushing. But no, he's still up there finishing the whole thing out and still willing to marry this bitch. Hell no. I'd have left her ass right there where she stood. This is Sirach, Deuteronomy 24:1. Read this and we'll close out. It says, when a man have taken a wife and married her, and it came to pass that she find no favor in his eyes because he had found some uncleanness, and everything about that bitch was unclean. That's uncleanness. The willingness not to obey, or if anything went wrong, not to even be there. That's unclean. It says, found some uncleanness in her, let him write her a bill of divorcement and give it in her hand and send her out of his house. She ain't even made it into his house yet, but the point is, I'd have left her ass right there where she stood, because that ain't the daughter of Sarah, and she ain't willing to obey or serve him or do the things that she's supposed to do as a woman, or as a woman should be towards a man. And if these women man, brothers out here dealing with these bitches, man, if they ain't willing to do those things or willing to be after your mind or take on your vibration and be after your mind, and knowing we following after Yahweh Shem Shai and righteousness and to obey, man, leave them bitches where they at, man. We understand you deal, you got to deal. Man, they ain't got to know you got to deal. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying not deal, and I'm not saying, cause a woman to commit adultery or none of that. No, you deal, but you deal accordingly. And motherfucker ain't meeting your requirements. That motherfucker not meeting your requirements. She don't know you ain't got to deal. You let her go out there and you let her continue to do the shit she gonna do. She gonna make up her own mind. She gonna do the shit that she gonna do. The Lord gonna control it. The Lord gonna lead it through the Spirit. The point is just be careful who the hell you dealing with. Don't put yourself in a situation if you got to deal, then you got to deal. Because you see these bitches ain't the daughters of Sarah. That's just her. So how much more the other women here in this place? Just like when you read Esther, when matter of fact, I'll go there right quick. Just real quick. When you read the book of Esther, I think it's the second chapter. No, it's the first chapter. When you read the book of Esther, so when you read the book of Esther and you get in the first chapter, it says, I jump down straight to the point. It says, verse 10. Yeah, it says, so Xerxes had made a feast, but it says also, Asti, the queen, made a feast for the women in the royal house which belonged to King Ahasuerus, which is Xerxes. It says, on the seventh day, when the heart of the king was merry with wine, he commanded Muhimi, Biztha, Harbona, Bigtha, and Agbetha, Zethar, and Carcass, the 7 chamberlains that served in the presence of Ahasuerus the king, to bring Asti the queen before the king with the crown royale, to show the people and the princess her beauty, for she was fair to look on. But the queen Eustace refused to come at the king's commandment by his chamberlains. Therefore the king was very wroth, and his anger burned in him. So he pissed off, because what? This bitch ain't listening. You ain't after my mind. You ain't serving, you ain't obeying me. It says, then what? It says, then the king said to the wise men which knew the times, for so was the king's manner towards all them that knew the law and judgment. And the next to him was Karshina, Shethar, Admatha, Tarshish, Mercies, Marsina, and Mumakan, the 7 princes of Persia and Media, which saw the king's face, and which sat in the first of the kingdom. It says, what shall we do unto the queen Eustace according to the law? Because she have not performed the commandment of the king of Ahasuerus by the chamberlains. So they're like, what we do? Because she ain't listening. Because it's something there's things that are supposed to take place when these motherfuckers are in subjection and they don't obey. It says, and Mumin answered before the king and the princes, Eustace the queen have not done wrong to the king only, but also to all the princes and to all the people that are under provinces of the king Ahasuerus. So she ain't just did wrong by him. She done did wrong by all the other men that are set up over their wives and their provinces. It says, for this deed of the queen shall come abroad unto all women. So meaning everybody gonna know, all women gonna know. She doing it, all the other women gonna know. It says, so that they shall despise their husbands in their eyes. So if she ain't listening, everybody else gonna feel like they ain't listening. So something got to take place with this motherfucker because she out of order. It says, when it shall be reported, then the king of Ahasuerus commanded Eustace the queen to be not brought in before him, but she came not. It says, likewise shall the ladies of Persia and Media say this day unto all the king's princes which have heard of the deed of the queen, thus shall there arise too much contempt and wrath. It says, so it's gonna cause confusion. It's gonna be a bunch of contempt and wrath. So he ain't gonna be the only one mad. He ain't gonna be the only one mad throughout them prophecies because the bitch ain't listening. If you don't do something to her, it says, if it please the king, let there go a royal commandment from him, and let it be written among the laws of the Persians and the Medes, that it be not altered, that you shall see come no more before the king of Ahasuerus, and let the king give her royal estate unto another that is better than she. So they're like, shit, man, you got to replace her. You got to get you got to replace her with another woman. She can't be the one on side you, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's what got to take place with, man, in Israel, man. These women ain't going the way you have her go. Man, you give her the bill of divorce and let her go. And the times we in, we shouldn't be looking. But if you feel like you got a deal, you find another woman that's after your mind and is willing to obey and fall into subjection into you. Because these were heathens going through these things. These weren't Israelites. These were heathens. These were heathens. When you read in this passage right here in Esther, the 1st chapter. So even they had something they go by. They had a set of laws they went after. Because she wasn't in subjection, but they understood that shit rolled downhill. That bullshit that she on, that's gonna spread like a bad disease. But the scripture tell you what, the physician coming to cut off a long disease. And that's what Yahweh Shai getting ready to do. Cut off 2/3 of our nation, these heathens. Because guess what? It's a disease. It's a cancer. That's why he coming to deliver only the elect, the ones that are after his order. That's why it's only a few. That's why, don't get me wrong, it's gonna be women that make it, but those women are gonna be in order. Bitches like that gonna be destroyed. So you either going to obey the man that's obeying Yahweh Shai, or you going to continue to live contrary and your ass going to be destroyed. And that's a message to all these wicked ass women. But Lord willing, this video was edifying. I'm going to end giving all honor, glory, and infinite praises to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakakwadash. Double honor to our apostles and elders of the great ministry on the tell us the truth. Peace and blessed salutations to the sincere Akim labeling in the truth, preaching and teaching, believing on the name Yahweh Shai Shai. And peace and blessed salutations to the men, women, and children that believe on the name Yahweh Shai Shai. Until the next time, I say Shalom and Abba Babal.